Yellows, yellows, everybody, and welcome to a very special call on money work. Special because we're taking a look at the connection and relationship between clutter, pain, and what's going on with money. Even before we explore, dive deep into this, like a couple of y'all already, having said hello, have mentioned that you're waiting to declutter. Like Diana has mentioned it, Rima has mentioned it, although Dr. Radha has said my kitchen was never so sparkling clean, always great news. And a couple of people have also confirmed that some photographs and emails have been deleted before you got on the call because that's the thing about clutter, right? You don't clear it, it piles up. Every email is not required. Every photograph is not required. The ability to be able to sort out what to keep and what not to keep is a huge contributor to clutter. But what does that have to do with pain? What does that have to do with money? We will get to that first. Take a look at your life. Is there pain? It could be emotional pain, it could be mental pain. Mental pain is, when you're constantly worried, when you have mental chatter, when you're just not able to be best friends with your mind, where your mind seems to be working against you. You would like to think about the future, your dreams, your passions, your goals, and your mind instead is dredging up the past. It's saying completely different things. And that's a kind of mental pain. Pain in the body, which is physical pain. Emotional pain is when you just keep feeling the same thing without any respite. Like it's pernicious. It's just become a habit. Like we're constantly irritated, or we're constantly frustrated, or we're constantly anxious, or we're constantly low. It is a pain. So take a look at emotional pain, mental pain, and your body pain. Of course, there is also relationship pain. There is also financial pain. There is also spiritual pain where you just feel completely hurt and abandoned by God. But between the mental, emotional, and physical is where all of these other pains also reside. Like Tejal says, struggling to declutter, I clear a little a day, but there's always more. And I will just request Delbert to reconnect. So, Payal, when you say that you have both, what do you mean? You mean physical and mental, or mental and emotional? But healing has started. Like Dolly says, it's very hard to declutter when my kids keep bringing things in my garage. Oh, for sure. Almost impossible to declutter when we have children, when we have grandchildren, when we have pets. Like, it seems like you're just constantly clearing up after them. Like I think it was on the last call or the call before that, where everything in my house is in place. It's spick and span. Everything is kept in order. And then my son's here for a day, and it's like Baghdad. It's like a war zone. And there's all that much more clearing that has to be done. And Dr. Radha says, after decluttering, my hidden voice seems to have become stronger. Incredible. Incredible. Zeddy says, my mind is quiet, but outside stagnation, movement, receiving is stuck, and it feels like it's an invisible cage. Mess around, somehow I cannot keep my place clean. Okay. So we will come to that because this could be from emotional clutter. Namrata has been clearing. Shashikala has also gotten rid of some old emails. That's fantastic. Sonal says my emotional pain is highest, then mental, and finally body pain. And Payal says mental, emotional, physical clutter. Started with mental and now it's physical clutter as well. And Payal, physical clutter is pain in the body, and it's also clutter in our environment because that is our physical space. So you're saying it's everywhere. Everything is cluttered. Like Batu says, I cleaned my wardrobe but was not able to do more, and that's fine. There's a reason we have only 24 hours in a day, out of which almost 10 to 12 are the only amounts in which we are supposed to be working in. That's fine. There's always tomorrow, and then day after, and then day after, and then day after. And for all of y'all who are recognizing clutter, especially if you can see clutter in your physical space, please check. Is there pain in the body? Or is there a constant coming and going of pain in the body? Is there a constant coming and going of pain in a particular body part? That's really good, Sonal. You've cleared emails, photos, unwanted papers, drawers, some clothes, and you've cleaned something around the house as well. That's fantastic. And it's 111 in the UK. Thank you, angels, for watching over us. Sangeeta says lots of relationship pain and discomfort. Check your physical environment. Wherever you're sitting right now, how is it on the left side? How is it on the right side? How is it in front of you? How is it behind you? Just where you are sitting right now. Sonal says, personally, I'm a very organized person. Fantastic. Is there pain in the body? And Alison has already confirmed the power of cleaning and decluttering. Money starting to flow again feels soothing. Yes, because there is a connection. And I will tell you what that connection is. Very direct connection. So ZD says, yes, there is hips and lower back. Pile also has constant pain. Sonal says most of the clutter is not related to my behavior or action, but if it is in your space, it's yours. Dr. Radha also confirms, I try cleaning a part of my house every day, seeing aches disappear in the body. Fantastic. And Deborah has pain in the right shoulder, coming and going in lower abdomen. And Elizabeth says, my office is the only room that is cluttered. I have so much paperwork living in two places. And check, Elizabeth, is there a tendency to pain? Diana says, full of clutter. Diana, check, is there pain? And Namrata says, clutter all around. Namrata, check, tendency to pain. And presently, is there any pain? And Elizabeth confirms, there is pain in the body, in the hip. For Sonal as well, even though, please look at what Sonal said. She said, I am personally an organized person, which is personally, she is a clutter-free person. And yet, there is clutter in her space. There is clutter. There is pain in the body. And Tejal says mental, emotional, physical clutter. And Tejal, tell us, is there a tendency to pain? Is there pain that's coming and going? Is there chronic pain? For Shashikala, there is physical pain. So Shashikala, what is your environment like? Pal says, if I try to declutter, my daughter comes and clutters my room again. It is part of their job profile, my lovelies. There is a thing to be done with children. Remind me, we will spend some time on children. And Pat said, spent a day shredding old papers, deleting computer files, sorting clothes to give away. And how are you feeling, Pat? And Tejal says, I feel pain in my legs and lower back. And Seema has sciatica, chronic pain, unable to stand for a while. And Seema, is there clutter in your physical surrounding? Gabriel says, is it my clutter when it's mainly my husband's stuff? Yes. When we marry, in whatever ceremonies we go through, whether it is the Indian rituals, whether it is the Catholic rituals, whether it is the Islamic rituals, our energies entwine. So even though there are two energies, they braid themselves together. How often have you tried to get your partner to do what you know you should do? How often have you tried to force your partner to do what you don't want to do? Because the sense of oneness happens when you are married. Whether or not you are enjoying that oneness, whether or not you want to stay in that oneness, a oneness takes place in the very act of getting married. Dana says, Had neck and shoulder pain, but it is gone now. Fantastic. Sonal says, hoarding is also clutter. Hoarding is a symptom of clutter. My mother doesn't discard anything, doesn't allow me to also many times will stand in front of me, I have to fight to throw something or throw when she is not around. Yes. So hoarding is an addiction. Clutter can also be an addiction because all habits become an addiction. And clutter can become a habit, just as pain can become a habit, just as financial struggle can become a habit. But hoarding is the extreme form of clutter. Zeddy says, sometimes I call it creative mess, but it disturbs me. I also love keeping my place clean and I'm a minimizer. So where is the clutter coming from, Zeddy? Because there is also pain in the body. And Shashikala has pain as well. Dr. Radha says, my work is cluttered, though. Try cleaning it, but people clutter it, can't do much about it, so work is a headache. For sure. Why do people clutter it? Do you share your space with them? Do you share your table with them? Like Gabriel says, after clearing out his storage unit, both energy levels are up. You see, they are, because the energies are braided together. Poonam has a left side pain. And Poonam, where is your clutter? Is it around you in your physical space? Namrata has pain, mid-back coccyx, feels like a knot, spreads when stressed. And mid-pain and coccyx especially, if there's too little movement. Sangeeta says a lot of pain coming from the front side. And is that where your maximum clutter is, where you can see it right now? Although Elizabeth has also refreshed the house, repainted, reorganized, clearing office and temple. Fantastic. Shashikala, environment pain means in your space, in your environment, because your environment is part of your physical space. Your house carries your aura. Like Payal also has sciatica pain. And Dolly says, yes, when I declutter and donate clothes, my pain goes away. Why? Why does it go away? How does it go away? How does this work? Like I said, it's a direct connection. It's a straightforward relationship. Like Zeddy said, my mess started when I moved to a new apartment, which is still not paid off because someone keeps my money hostage and the seller guy does not have the last document ready to finalize the sale. How does that make you feel? Gitanjali says, body is in a lot of pain. Pain of a different kind, unimaginable clutter in my body. Recent healing work is making my mind peaceful and observant. And can you see the connection between this and the fact that there is clutter around you? Because unimaginable clutter in the body invariably gives rise to unimaginable clutter in the house. Unimaginable clutter means you don't know where to start. Like you think about starting and you don't start. Elizabeth says, my partner has a garage filled to the ceiling. Is it mine? If it's in your space, it's yours. If you all live together, it's yours. I've offered to help clear and he pretends he doesn't hear me. So he might be containing and keeping a clutter for you. And Dr. Radha says, in her clinic, there are various doctors coming and going. Some are messy, leave a lot. And I promise they are not making as much as they could. Maybe they are making money, but not as much as they could if they didn't do this. Cleaning staff is laid back too. I'm sure they also have a lot of financial problems. Diana said, I never had clutter, but my mother and daughter did. Somehow now I have it. And you also mentioned some pain, Diana. But it's gone now, you said. And hello, what is your name? Hello. I declutter regularly and then it starts piling up. And Zeddy has stacked and angry. Do you mean stuck and angry? And I try to keep things organized. What is your name? Don't have pain in the body. Fantastic. And PS says, I will see the earlier recording so I can follow the instructions. Yeah, no problem. You will get lots today as well. And Rita also has mentioned sciatica pain. I think 3 people now with sciatica. Payal, Rita, and I think one more person mentioned sciatica. And Yamini says, I'm in the process of decluttering and minimizing. Superb. Superb. If you had to come up with your own definition of clutter, what would it be? How would you define clutter? Like when I said clutter, nobody has any doubt about what I am indicating. You know exactly what I mean when I say clutter. But how would you define this for yourself? Shashikala, surrounding space has clutter. Thought so because there's pain in the body. If there is pain in your body, there is pain in your environment, as in your physical space, in your house. If your office is in your house, that is part of your house. So, I'm a messy person, but what is your name? Messy, stuck. Okay, this is the definition of clutter. Deborah says fear of letting go. Very nice. And Dr. Radha says, oh yes, previous cleaning staff was spick and span. She was good. No major money issues too. Always like that. Straightforward. Overwhelm in the physical. Nice. Dr. Kirti says things which are not useful. Very nice. Natalia says confusion. Very good. Chaya says back pain since almost 25 years. And Chaya, how is the clutter in your house? Diana says my clutter is putting the stuff in an organized place. You mean the opposite. You mean your decluttering is putting the stuff in an organized place. Yamini says feels stressed when messy and cluttered around. All of us, you know. All of us. Shashikala, you're the third one with sciatica. So we must definitely look at sciatica today. Vrunda says anything that does not contribute to my well-being is clutter. Beautiful definition. Sonal says mess, leading to chaos, confusion, dirt, uneasiness, stuck, and lost in short. In short and long. But yes. And Delva says clutter is the mess we see, which could be kept clean and organized. Okay. And Gitanjali confirms, unimaginable clutter in the house, have to think where to put my foot and move forward. And Dr. Radha says lots of things in front, not in its right place. Jumble and muddle. Hardcore hoarder, don't know how to let go. Space occupying disorganized stuff equals clutter. And Diana says my clutter is overwhelmed, no clarity. And Priya says acute headache at least 3 times a week for more than 20 years. Priya, please just check. What and where is the clutter in your house? And Zeddy also says, I'm not able to put things in the right place. It feels confusing since I change places for things all the time. And Pia says, lingering pain in the whole body, also mentally tired. And where is the clutter in your house? Do you know where the clutter is? Items that are not required or adding value. Superb. Namrata says, clutter creates a feeling of fullness, burden, leads to inaction. And look at the conflict in that, right? Because we all want a feeling of fullness. We have many conscious goals and desires. Money, love, house, car, travel, adventure, success, rewards. But underneath it all is always a desire for freedom and fulfillment. And Chaya says, lot of storage to be used later. You have a lot of empty space, Chaya? And Priya says, house is very clean. I feel it's too much mental chatter. Could be. My mom keeps a lot of clutter in the house. Would this matter? If you are in that house very often, it would matter. Overflowing mess, another great definition of clutter. And Ruma says, is thyroid also associated with clutter? All body parts get associated with clutter. I'm coming to the reason, Yamini. Coming to the reason. First, we have to understand clutter fully. And Shashikala says, diabetic neuropathy on feet. I'm so sorry. So sorry. We will see how today makes you feel. And Zeddy says, old boxes sitting in the hall, even if I move them, feels as if new are coming and sitting there. Interesting. Like, can you see this as well, my lovelies? Quite a few of us have mentioned, I do clear and then it comes back. Like something else comes back. Or you've cleared and your daughter's brought it back. Like in some way or the other, it's staying put. Like it's like we are magnets for it. Like Gitanjali says, recently started to declutter and not hoard. I'm unable to give away clothes and belongings of my parents who are no more. That makes sense. Ruma says, many boxes not open because of lack of space. Can I put in clutter? That is definitely clutter. And Gabriel says, is it a good idea to clear the clutter in the main living areas and bedrooms and then do the downstairs, or doesn't matter where to start decluttering? It matters. It matters a lot. Clutter is not able to organize, not able to take action. Yes, also a very good definition. And Gitanjali says, my definition of clutter is unnecessary stuff in surrounding space or mind, also means that important stuff is not in its correct place. Very good understanding. That is absolutely correct. And Chaya says, so Chaya, is that emptiness or is that boxes and clutter, phone, cupboard, bedroom? And Payal says, my children's books are always messed up, not have proper place to keep, falling from table always, which means that Saraswati Ma is being disrespected. And Zeddy says, just realize that things as these are happening as a pattern, especially when I start a new life. Very interesting. Hold on to that, Zeddy, and we will see what other dots can be connected to this. Chai says, lots is stored, always thinking I will use later but don't get there. Superb, superb. Again, very important reason. It's one of the reasons for keeping it. Anjali says, currently in a rented apartment, owner has left 3 steel dilapidated cupboards in one of the bedrooms. I find it very irritating for now, but don't have any option to live with it. Absolutely. You can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now. Jan says, holding on to the past, very much so. Another reason. However, let us sum up all of these definitions into one. The definition of clutter is keeping what is not serving us anymore. I'll say it again. Clutter is keeping what is not serving us anymore. Now, if it's showing up again and again, even though you're clearing, something in it is serving you. Yes? Because if clutter is keeping what is not serving us, then every time we're letting go of something, it comes back because something in it is serving us. Because it is keeping something that is not serving us, clutter can be mental, physical, emotional, financial, relationships, spiritual, sexual, environmental. Environmental is our physical space. How does clutter begin? When do we start keeping what is not serving us anymore? When did your clutter start? When do you remember noticing it's just one box, I'll clear it? When do you remember noticing that when you open your cupboard, there are things falling out and then you quickly slam it shut again? When did you notice that, gosh, there's a lot of things in this corner? It's okay. When was the first time that you noticed clutter? You noticed stuff. Deborah says, teenager, and Dr. Kirti says, I notice daily, but when did you begin? When did you first notice? Teresa says started process of digitizing and then shredding the physical files. At home, donating all that has not been used, keeping only current household receipts. Personal photos are being digitized. Slow process, but it is effective. Effective for what, Teresa? Zeddy says, before I kept small clothes thinking one day I can use it, and the day never came. Do you still have them? Dr. Kirti says, after marriage. Interesting. Pal says, 2 years ago only, but ignoring. Elizabeth says, noticed it after I got divorced and downsized my house. Paul says, mine started with old clothes of children and couldn't give it away. Strangely, when I'd fallen ill with PMS, almost 6 years back. Tell me about this illness with PMS almost 6 years back. Is this the start of like a perimenopausal phase? Sonal says, after my mom came in to live with me. Dr. Radha says, when I couldn't get important files, dresses, around 5-7 years back. Absolutely, Chaya. FOMO is one of the reasons. But what I want to know is when you started noticing this. So Delva says, noticed clutter when I got irritated with having to handle too much to find something. When's the first time that happened, Delva? Alison says, clutter and build up after giving birth. Opening retail shops, previously didn't have attachment to things. Lived out of backpack for years. Namrata says, after marriage, I'm very organized and a minimalist. Then you braided with a disorganized and a non-minimalist. After husband moved in, said Gabriel. And Seema says, I have clutter cartons as I deal in crystals. Does that also count as clutter if it's not kept tidily? Shashikala has noticed this few years back. And Gabriel says, luckily, the recent mice infestation and financial hardship forced us to declutter. Life will try to take care of you in the best way possible. And Anjali says, never been a hoarder, but I do hold on to a few things that hold childhood memories. Is that fine? It serves you, right? It's fine. Keep it neat and tidy. Then it's not clutter. And Zeddy says, I remember it started in my 50s. What happened in your 50s, Zeddy? A breakup, menopause, a new career. Seema says, I was told by my family I'm comfy with clutter of clothes. I feel safe, they are fine. Yes, very possible. But when did you notice? When did this notice start? Diana says, after my mother visited us in 2019. At the same time, husband had to empty his parents' house, brought a lot of stuff here. And Miriam says, clutter gives me a headache. Actually, it gives all of us a headache. Delva says, years ago, can't remember, but whenever I cleaned up, it returns. Okay. Teresa says, effective method to reduce paper clutter, keep required information, must keep all business records for 7 years. Correct. Parul says, yes, it started with the heavy PMS leading to endometriosis, finally diagnosed with hormonal imbalances, sciatica pain. Are you the fourth person? Or there was Payal, there's Shashikala, and is it you? Are you the fourth person mentioning sciatica? Which started post second pregnancy in 35 years. Got it. Dr. Radha says, husband and mother-in-law are cleanliness freaks. Now I'm trying to be like them. Wow. So this braiding is working for you. Braiding as in what happens energetically when we marry. And Zeddy says, huge trauma. Fiancé left me 2 weeks before the wedding. I got it. Shashikala, after renovation of part of her residence on the ground floor. And the point of this question is for all of us to see that we've either noticed it or started it when a life-changing event took place. Everybody, please confirm that you have understood the origin. Life-changing event. Good way, bad way, terrible way, traumatizing way, immaterial. Life-changing event, and either the clutter began or you noticed it. Yes, everybody? Can we get the timelines? Yes. Dr. Kirti has said yes, Delba said yes, Yogita has said yes, Nishu said yes, Payal, Parul, Pat, Deborah, Zebdi, Elizabeth, Teresa have said yes. And Gitanjali says, I noticed when I started to buy clothes, because my regular clothes were either not washed or clean clothes not in place. This was 15 years ago, and cleanliness is next to godliness. Where did you lose your cleanliness? Diana agrees, Anjali agrees, Namrata agrees. And UD says, Udis says, I like to keep piles of paper. Why is that? I know how to get rid of them, but I lack the willpower to do it. Because it serves you in some way. We only keep what serves us. Nobody is keeping an old banana peel. Is anybody keeping an old banana peel? Doesn't serve us. Is anybody keeping spoiled, rotten food? Doesn't serve us. If it would serve us, we would keep that also. Dr. Radha says, yes, Dad was sick. Here's what happens in a life-changing event. All life-changing events, even if you're marrying somebody you love, even if you're looking forward to your mother, because all of us love our parents, even if consciously there are other things going on. We all love our parents. We all want our parents to be with us, even if we are not fully comfortable with that. Some part of us is always child and wants us. However, looking forward to an event we are, there is always transition trauma. There could be active trauma where a death could have happened or somebody's been sick. There has been Zeddy's fiance left. But even if it's not active trauma, all life-changing events, leaving house to go to college, leaving the country, even if you're looking forward to living in a new country, all life-changing events carry transition trauma. What is transition trauma? Transition trauma is all the headaches and the pains and the aches and the sleepless nights and the worries and the stress that comes with the time before the event. If you have to move, can you just move tomorrow? No, right? You'll have to call your packers and movers. You'll have to figure out your flight. You'll have to figure out the couriers. You'll have to figure out who's going to help. You're going to have to figure out what you're going to take, what you're not going to take. A transition trauma carries stress, all kinds of stress. Even if it's happy stress, there will be stress. Nobody's ever had a fully smooth transition. Marriage, college, career, country, home. Always some part of us, and this is the important part, my lovelies, some part of us wants to stay back. Even if you're moving from your Fiat to your Mercedes, some part of you is in the Fiat. Some part of you will want the Fiat. Some part of you is going to talk about this Fiat for a while. It was so sweet. It's been with us for so long. It's been such a sweet color. It never really gave us any trouble, or it gave us a lot of trouble. Even if it gave us a lot of trouble, in the transition, some part of us stays bonded to what was before. You love the person you're going to marry. You're looking forward to having a married life. You're looking forward to being partners with them. You're looking forward to having your own house with them. Even then, some part of you wants to stay back. And Parul says, I want to go back to my routine before marriage, tired of this ghar ghar ka khelna. How many ghars are you playing with? Ghar, people, is house. Like Zeddy says, I believe all started when I was a babe. It was tough since I was born. So there was clutter then. Your mother was not organized. Even Chantal, right? After brother's death, maybe you're as a teenager being given to child services again. It's a life-changing event. And the way that, I remember, Chantal, that your brother went, it's a shock that can last lifetimes. And Delva says, I am going through this transition trauma. My son has gone abroad to study. My right hand, elbow, left shoulder is frozen and neck pains. And has the clutter increased after he has gone? Absolutely, Zeddy. Even if it was so bad, but it felt familiar. Thank you so much, my girl. And that's the word I was going to. Familiar. Why is it, like I think Chaya said this, right? There's FOMO. There's like, what if when I need it, it's not there? So I'm going to keep it because I might need it. Familiar. There is something familiar in this clutter that you are holding on to. An older life, a time before that life-changing event. What was that familiarity? Is it love? It could be. What is in this clutter? Old clothes? It's like Gitanjali said. I am unable to give away the clothes of my parents even though they have passed away. Traumatizing, life-changing event. Unable now to let it go because familiar. Keeping with me. Something in this piled up stuff. That's the other word, my lovelies. I'm going to keep coming back to stuff. Something in this is familiar. Something in whatever you're holding on to and unable to clear is from a life before the time of the life-changing event. Intuitively, look at your clutter and tell me, what is this thing of familiarity you are unable to release? And Dr. Radha says, so people with trauma, unhealed, untreated, will have clutter always. Yes, and pain always, and money problems always. Pal says, last 10 to 12 years, my mom and husband tried to make me notice that my house is cluttered. What are you really trying to keep? Because you see, if you're keeping it, it's serving you. How is it serving you? Because it's a connection to a life before the life-changing event. What are you really keeping? Like Diana says, I hold on to my mother's love when she was still alive. Got it? What are you really keeping in what you are keeping? Pal says, I think it takes my loneliness away. Namrata says, not for me, it's my husband's papers, which I cannot touch, but it's in your space, causing you pain. It's yours. There's a reason why you would have even married such a man. What are you really keeping? Chantal says, I feel like if I don't keep things, I might not have something again. Awesome. P.S. says, religious wars are very disturbing. Religions are meant for peace and happiness. Is that what you're keeping? Are you keeping the war? Are you keeping the peace? Are you keeping the happiness? Sorry, I didn't see. I'm not sure what answer that was. And Yogita says, trying to keep because of fear of losing. Yes, very good. Diksha says, my thoughts, overthinking, not able to say what I feel to people around, fear which leads to headaches and backaches. Is that what you're keeping? Dr. Radha says, reminds me of the large ancestral home we were in my childhood compared to tiny flats now. Miss the vastness. So you're keeping a connection to the ancestral openness. And Dr. Kirti says, I think it's money. You're keeping money. Like, what are you really keeping? Like Zeddy says, feeling being a victim. Are you keeping it? Chantal says, fullness, afraid of emptiness and void. Superb, superb. And I'm going to come to the emptiness and void. Absolutely. Fullness, right? Our secret desire is to always be full. If you don't have stuff, but you have a sense of emptiness, you will stuff yourself. You will stuff yourself with food. You will stuff yourself with alcohol. You will stuff yourself with thoughts. You will stuff yourself with feelings. You will stuff yourself with memories. You will stuff yourself with Amazon Prime. You will stuff yourself with work. Anuja says maybe some memories of love. If that's the first instinct you got, then that's what it would be. And Nilufer, your mom has had a fall. I'm so sorry. So sorry. We are going to do one for pain coming up. Elizabeth says, have picked up depression mentality from parents during World War II. We had very little. My house is full but organized, except for office paperwork, which means money, because your office is the way that you work. Sona says, I keep emotions inside for the fear of hurting others. Okay, you're keeping emotions. Dr. Kirti says, money in the form of things, old stuff. Ah, yeah. But keeping money. And thinking it will be useful someday. You're keeping it, thinking it will be useful someday. Control and distraction, is that what you're keeping? And Sangeeta says, I always think of the money I spent in buying those clothes, so losing them is fear of losing money. Correct? And Dr. Radha says, yes, at one time, stuff food, TV on loudly. Oh, yes, you can stuff yourself with sound. Loud music, 24/7 stuffed life. Ruma says, books and clothes. And what do they remind you of? What are you really keeping in what you are keeping? What do those books and clothes remind you of? How do they make you feel? And Teja says, I realize I'm keeping my mom. She had a habit of having clutter all around. This reminds me of her home and her ascent. Fantastic. Because what you're really keeping is fullness in the loss. All clutter comes from having lost something that has not yet been resolved. When we lose something, there is a void, there is an emptiness, there is a blankness. Life, egos, us, nature abhors a vacuum. So you will stuff it. Anything to recreate the illusion of a time you've left behind. What time? The time before the life-changing event. Because what you lost, you have not come to terms with. Your new life, you have not come to terms with. All clutter indicates unresolved loss. The fear of more loss, which is why FOMO won't be there when I need it. Because you've already lost it when you needed it. Now you can't bear to think that if you need something again, it won't be there. Like Parul says, my old clothes before pregnancy and illness reminds me of my being fit in great health, old memories. Because you have not made peace with the fact that that is another Parul and this is another Parul. Clutter is a way of staying in the past. You are not fully present and available. You are not fully here. You've married somebody, you're organized, you're neat, you're clean, you're tidy. You've married somebody who's not. Constantly reminding you of a time when it was easier for you to live the way you wanted. Like Gabriel says, I'm keeping too many books in the hopes of absorbing the wealth of information contained in them and to practice the different languages they are written in. Same thing. They should be there when I need them, because something was not there when you needed it. And now you can't let it go in case you might need it again, in case it might happen again. And Dr. Radha says just buying ebooks and courses too come under clutter. Depends how you've organized it on your desktop. I've had thousands of books. Slowly letting them go, crying while letting them go, but letting them go. And some of these books I am not going to read again. Like, for example, the Harry Potter collection from the first to the last. For example, the Dark Tower collection from the first to the last. Some of them are not even available now, but they serve something for me. So they are kept neatly and tidily. I do not see them as clutter. I will not use them. Maybe I will give them to my nephews or to my child. My child doesn't really read. Otherwise, I would have given it to him very quickly. So even though there are books I am not going to touch to read again, I am not going to give them away. But they are not clutter in my space. So everything is not clutter. Clutter is untidiness. Clutter is messiness. Although messiness is usually temporary, a crumpled bed cover is messy. It's not clutter. And Delbert says, yes, clutter is the stuff which we used in the past and were happier with it. It is a way of holding on to a time. But it is not that time anymore. We are not that age anymore. We may not be that body anymore. We may not have that partner anymore. We may not, God forbid, have that parent anymore. We may not have that house anymore. We may not be in that city anymore. We are not that child anymore. But when we keep clutter, because who is most cluttered? All children. When we have clutter we are not able to deal with, it is us, the child, who's gone through a loss that is too much to handle. The loss, usually in the loss of that particular time, has to do with one person as well. Like for Zeddy, When her fiancé called off the wedding 2 weeks before, she's lost him. Our clutter is a person we are holding on to. Even if it's a time where you remember being fit, a time where you remember being happier, a time where you remember being single and free, a time where you remember having more choices, a time where you remember just having lesser responsibilities. All clutter is a way to hold on to someone. Good person, bad person, toxic person, abusive person, secondary. Bad person, secondary. It is a way to hold on to one or more people. If your clutter is getting cleared and then it's getting cluttered again because those boxes are showing up again, those books are falling down again, those clothes are showing up again, there is somebody in your life that you have not let go of yet. If you have unimaginable clutter, as I think Gitanjali mentioned, you have more than one person you have not let go of yet. Keeping anything is not clutter. Keeping anything in a messy, untidy, disorganized manner is clutter. You've got old photos, maybe they have been displayed very beautifully, but just don't keep them in your bedroom. That's not clutter. But you've got old photos that are just piling up, yellowing, fading, getting photograph fungus. That's clutter. Like Vrinda says, I remember as a child, I was always irritated by all the clutter, more focused on cleanliness and neatness. And how is it now? Now, if you cannot remember who this person is that you're unwilling to let go of, then the clutter will carry how this person made you feel. Like somebody also mentioned, I feel safe. All these clothes are there. I feel safe. These clothes have not gone. Whoever that person was, that person made you feel that way. It could also be the possibility of a person. You know, when you know you're going to meet the person of your dreams, you're going to meet your soulmate, there's a certain way that you behave, there are certain things you buy, there are certain things you keep, there are certain makeups you try, and then you're holding on to all of them because they remind you of this person. So people, please drink up, hydrate completely. Close your eyes. Yes, Chantal, getting organized is natural. In any case, it's very difficult to force. Really difficult to force because the whole point of clutter is your relationship with this person. Can you force yourself to leave someone? Even if you know you should leave someone? No. Can you force yourself to let go of someone even when you know you should let go of someone? No. It is impossible. It has to come naturally, organically, and from within. Vrinda says now well organized to a bit of OCD. Well, OCD is obsession. Obsession is a form of clutter. You're obsessed with keeping this. And the higher the obsession, the more the hoarding. And Vrinda says cluttering by my family members does hurt me at times. And your family members include your family of origin or your married family, and is there pain in the body? While you're answering that, now that we are hydrated, people, please keep your feet uncrossed, keep your palms facing upward. Close your eyes. See this person you are refusing to let go of in your mind's eye. You know this person. Either you'll see this person or you'll know the person's name. Now that you know the person and you know their name, see yourself in an open forest. There are birds twittering. The breeze is soft and gentle. There is a river flowing. You may or may not see the river, but you know there is a river. The ground is soft beneath your bare feet. And this person is in front of you. Maybe they are completely startled to be there. They weren't expecting to be met by you. Maybe it is a friend. Maybe it is a parent. Maybe it is a family member. Maybe it is a lover. Stay still. Give them a few seconds to acclimatize to the fact that you're there and looking at them. Allow them to make the first move towards you, however long it takes, because they may be shy, they may be awkward, they may be strained, they may be confused, they may be puzzled, they may be guilty. Give them a few seconds. They will step towards you. When they do, you step towards them. Knowing how much is your safe distance, step that much towards them. Even if this is someone that you are happy to get away from, step as much as you can towards them. And say this: for some reason, I haven't been able to let you go. For many reasons, I want to hold on to you. I am here today because this is not working for me or you. I've come to say bye. I don't want to say bye. I want to keep you. And in the boxes, in the clothes, in the things, in the stuff in my house, I have kept you. But you are my past. And my time to move to the future has come. I'm so sorry for any way that I may have hurt and harmed you. I'm sorry that things didn't work out between us. I love you very much. But the place for you is only in my heart as love, as gratitude, as blessings that I once knew you. Your place is not clutter anymore. I detach from you. I set you free. I set myself free. I do so with love. I do so feeling everything that I'm feeling. I detach from you. I set you free. I set myself free. I detach from you. I set you free. I set myself free. I will listen to anything you have to say. But all I have left to say is, goodbye, my love. Goodbye, my beloved. Goodbye. If they have something to say back to you, listen. This time capsule is going to start dissolving. From the edges of your vision, you will see everything dissolving, fading, dissolving, coming closer, 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 until they too dissolve, fade, and then it's just you in your mind's eye. Turn around so you are looking at you and walk back into your forehead. In your forehead, in your third eye, sit in meditation and then bring all your attention to your knees. Bring your attention to your hips. Become aware of the seat underneath your bum. Become aware of your skin and the heat between your bum and wherever you are sitting. Become aware of your belly button. Become aware of your chest. Bring your attention to your elbows. Become aware of your open palms, left palm, right palm, right palm, left palm, both palms. Immediately move downwards to the soles of your feet. And straight from there to the top of your head. What is happening on the top of your head? What is happening on the top of your shoulders? What is happening to the skin that is exposed to the wind or the heat or the air? Breathe in fully through the nose. Breathe in till you can't breathe in anymore. and hold your breath. When you can't hold it anymore, open your mouth and let it come out. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Open it like you're opening it for a dentist. Raise your chin up a little bit as well. Open your mouth. Open your mouth till your cheekbones hurt. Wait. Wait. A sudden breath will come in your stomach or your chest or even your throat. Let that sudden breath come, and once it comes, relax your chin, close your mouth, have lots of water, and tell me how you're doing. Vandana asks, can it be that the other person is actually holding on to us? Yes, definitely. Can happen. Which is why detach, 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 set yourself free, set them free, set yourself free, set them free. Pat says feeling lighter after many tears flowing. There was difficulty speaking the words. There was parents and partner. ZD couldn't complete it because there was a disturbance. It's all right, ZD. Even if you go handle that, come back and pick up from where it was, it's okay. Not allowing me to do what I want. Who is the person who has never allowed you to do what you want? And Dr. Radha says, had to lie down in between. It was too much, but lighter and clearer now. And Vandana says, seemed happy to see me, but I wanted to punch his face. Well, actually, okay, that didn't come up, but in our work, but please feel free to punch his face. Sonal says, I'm burping. Deborah says, first thing I saw my ex-husband, wanted to toss him in the river, felt very angry, then we embraced. Felt like 3D. We don't work, but on another level, we have love for each other. You do, my lovelies. We all actually love everyone, and everyone loves us. But they have certain roles to play in our lives, just as we have certain roles to play in theirs. Karma has to be completed. And Zeddy says mother and sister. Very powerful. So they keep coming back. They keep interrupting. You keep clearing, they keep coming back. But some part of you is also holding on to them. And Sonal says tingling, whizzing all around the body. Fantastic. How much of this energy is being impacting your choices and your decisions? And is that Yohita or Yogita? Okay, Yohita, tears but feeling relaxed. Good. Brinda says last exercise is very relaxing, and Ashling says that was amazing. I felt and saw shimmering light all around me. Person was an ex. Message was he was attracted to my power, but I projected it back onto him instead of owning it myself. Telva says tears. Pal says I saw a boy in my society have a crush. Can't remember, but he was interested in my friend and asked for help. That's fine. Is it real or I imagined him? Very real. And Zeddy says, please help, mother is gone already. Just repeat the exercise with her. And there will be reactions. Because when we are holding on, we're holding on to someone for happiness, for safety, for protection, for care, for nourishment, for an apology, for forgiveness, for guilt. All kinds of entanglements take place when we're holding on to somebody. Diana says, the love of my parents is now in my heart. That's the only place it should be. And with love. And Ashling says, I was super dynamic back then. Clutter is to slow me down, the fear of being dynamic again, hurting people, disrupting relationships. So there will be that reaction. Moment there is a reaction. So whether it is tears, whether it is overwhelm, whether it is guilt, whether it is pressure, whether it is anxiety, or whether it is this fear, we will say, you can leave now. Because that was then and this is now. It was how it was. It need not be how it is. Because that's the whole point, right? You're holding on to someone from the past, and that someone could be you as well. Elizabeth says, feeling heavy and sad. Repeat, feeling heavy and sad. You can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now. Detach from the heavy and sad. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from the heavy and sad. Set it free, set yourself free. And that is the decree, by the way. So detach from. So you can say my, but don't say my. My is acceptable, but don't say my. Detach from. So whether you're saying detach from the mother, from the father, from the lover, from the brother, from the sister, from the family, from my younger self, say the, or an emotion. Detach from the heavy and sad. Set them free, set yourself free. Set them free, set yourself free. And see how you are once you've said that, Elizabeth. Don't change the pronouns. Even if it's saying set yourself free, you say it as set yourself free. Shashikala says pain in left leg has lessened. And Chantal says it was peaceful. My brother and my sister-in-law came. I saw the difference in my own maturity and the experience I had when losing each of them. She was a gift he left for me. Beautiful. Sangeeta says, I saw myself, a diminutive me, shrinking away from me. So maybe afraid of your judgment, maybe afraid of your love, maybe afraid of your anger, because you might be blaming that younger you. And Ashling says, a new sale has just come in. Yoo-hoo! Fantastic. Yamini says, met ex-husband who is no more, and another partner who was in the background. Good. Diana says, I release so many tears, feel in peace now. Poonam says, pain has reduced. Tejal also has tears flowing. Made peace with my mom and she was happy to see me and apologized for not hearing me. I think I'm ready to let go now. Whole body is buzzing. Detach from the mother. Set her free. Set yourself free. Detach from the father. Set him free. Set yourself free. Detach from the exes. Set them free. Set yourself free. Detach from those who have gone. Set them free. Set yourself free. Yes, very much, P.S. There will be a recording. Vrinda says, is it that some people are not able to identify the clutter around them and hence ignorant towards clearing it? Everybody identifies the clutter, but remember, you are keeping it because it's serving something. So we could ignore it because it's serving something greater. Pal says, saw near one, saw random boy, still wonder why. Set them free, set yourself free. Keena says, clutter started again after moving from a house and area I loved, therefore life-changing event. Unexpectedly had to move. Now new house is cluttered, still unpacked since moving in 2020. Yes, very much. You are grieving the house you left and neighborhood you left. Always. We are holding on to something from the past. And there will be someone also included with this, Kina. You could be in the most beautiful house, but if your neighbors are ugly and terrible, that house, you'll want to leave the house. So there would be people involved in this, but by all means, see the house as a person and do the exercise. Detach from eye strain, set yourself free. Now set it free first, then set yourself free. And have water. Strain, stress, pressure, pain, all are body signals for hydrating. Whatever stuff we have that we are stuffing in order to avoid grieving, healing, and making peace with the loss, all of this stuff is now blocking pathways. Yes? Everybody look at your house, wherever the clutter is. It is now blocking a pathway. Like Gitanjali said, I don't even know how to take which foot to put where. Pathways are getting smaller or blocked. When you have to go, either you have to move something somewhere, or you're bumping into something somewhere, or you're stubbing your toe onto something, pathways are diminishing or getting blocked. Our key word for money is pathways. Money makes its way to you. People make their way to you. Sales make their way to you. Do you not want this way to be open and clear? At your work table, how comfortable is somebody putting money across a cluttered table as opposed to a tidy table? Pathways. When our mental pathways, and the brain is only a series of pathways. Our body is only a series of pathways. Pathways with blood, pathways with fluids, pathways of nerves, pathways with muscles, pathways with bones, pathways with nutrition, pathways with nourishment, pathways with oxygen, pathways with carbon dioxide. We are a series of pathways. Pathways of chakra systems. All pathways. Our breath is a pathway. Inhale, it's going into a pathway. In the body, it is traveling in a pathway. When you exhale, it is coming out through a nostril, through a pathway. The exhale in the body is coming out through a pathway. It's not coming out from the pores of your skin. It is coming out through a pathway. When we have blocked pathways because we couldn't let go of someone, because we couldn't make peace with the loss of someone or something, those pathways start to close down. And what is the law of attraction, my lovelies? Somebody give me the law of attraction. And PS says, can we get rid of addictions with the above meditation? We can. Even addictions are a clutter, because addictions become an obsession. Yogita says, what you put energy into growth, openness and flow. Give me some more definitions of the law of attraction. Energy flows where attention goes, receiving. Then giving is not law of attraction. Thought, good brings good. Thank you so much, Sonal. Good brings good. Bad brings bad. Negativity brings negativity. Positivity brings positivity. Blocked pathways bring blocked pathways. You get more of who you are. Because the universe is always responding to your energy. It's always responding to your vibration. If your vibration is blocked, is stuck, is stagnant, is cluttered, the universe will bring more of it. Because the universe is always saying yes to you. Also saying yes to what you ask for, but also saying yes to who you are. So the good of you brings good into your life. The not good of you brings the not good. The stress of you brings more stress. The blocked pathways bring blocked pathways. How will money find you now? Because what we are attracting are blocked pathways because of the clutter. When a pathway is blocked, we become, can anybody tell me what we become when the pathway is blocked? Stagnant, yes. Bloated, yes, we do. Negative, numb, sick, stagnant, stuck. We become stressed, yes. We become unattainable. If your path is blocked to you crossing the road, then crossing the road is unattainable, right? If money is there, but the pathway is blocked, then money is unattainable. We become unattainable. When we become unattainable, the law of attraction will make sure that other things also become unattainable. Everything we're asking for also becomes unattainable. When we have clutter, we also become invisible. Because in clutter, we hide. Can you be seen properly in these blocked pathways? Can all of you be seen properly? And depending on the amount of clutter you have, that's the amount that hiding is taking place. If you're hiding and you're invisible and you're unattainable, how will money find you? Money will be knocking at your door. How will you open it? Because the pathway is cluttered and you're also unattainable and you're also hiding and you're also invisible. It won't find you. And what will you do? You will go into battle. You will elbow out this box. You will kick that box. You will shove another box. You will shove the other box. You will thumb through another box. Now you are so tired that by the time you get to opening the door, because money is knocking, you can neither receive fully nor enjoy it completely. And therefore, if there is a lot of clutter and somehow you are getting money, you will also manifest it going very rapidly. Please check your life and tell me if this is happening or not. And so the other thing that clutter does in our lives is reveal an unconscious fear of having money. Remember what clutter is, my lovelies. What is clutter? keeping something, keeping stuff that doesn't serve us. But why are we keeping it? Clutter is what is not serving us, but we are keeping it. Therefore, it is serving us. How is it serving us? It's blocking the pathway of money, to money, from money, for money. Therefore, we must take accountability of the fact that some very powerful part of us does not want the money. Because this is the end result that's happened. Because everybody is a powerful manifestor, my love, all of us. Some of us more powerful than others, but everybody is a powerful manifestor. Some part of us does not want the money. I'm going to say it one more time, my lovelies. Some part of us does not want the money. Some part of us is afraid of the money. If all of this clutter got cleared up, meaning your head is also going to clear up, your body is also going to clear up, your emotions are also going to clear up, the path to money is also going to be clear, how does that make you feel? Your house is spick and span. Great ventilation. Lots of space. You can move, you can dance, you can host a Zumba class in your house. That's how organized and clutter-free it is. How are you feeling? And Deborah says, I get nervous. Amazing, right? Because you are here, not just for clutter, you're also here because it's a money call. Because consciously, we all want it. Whether it's your mental pathway that's cluttered, emotional pathway that's cluttered, physical pathway that's cluttered, or your environmental pathways that are cluttered, these are indications that you do not want the money. You think you want the money, but you don't. And Judith says, it's true, I'm afraid of creating money. Why? Why are you afraid of money? And Kina says, money is inheritance. Very true, I want my dad instead. Money brings responsibility, which we don't want to take on possibly. In our work, Zeddy, how we change things is by working from where we are. So never the future, how will it be now that I've changed this? Where are we right now? Can we at least absorb the understanding and realization that I'm keeping the clutter because I don't want to get, keep, have, receive the money. I can't find a reason anymore why I do not want money, and yet your life is telling you there is a hidden reason. Your clutter is telling you there is a reason. Where are you disconnected? Where has your pathway so blocked that you don't even know it exists? So here's the thing. Complete the sentence. I fear money because, let me put another word in there. So I fear getting money because, and Pal says, I don't want money as I don't want to leave my abusive husband. Superb. Whether it's a logical reason, whether it's a healthy reason, It doesn't matter. You want to look at the pathway that is blocked. Ashling says, I'll have to look after it. And this is a problem because Kathleen says, I don't deserve it. Pal says, it brings me feeling of freedom, and then I fear getting freedom because. And Zeddy says, I fear getting money because my life will change for good. And this is scary because. Deepa says, I fear money because I don't have too many desires. What is the connection between the two? I fear overgiving or overspending, which means I don't trust myself with money. And what will happen if you overgive or overspend, Malvika? Because everything will have to change, says Chantal. And Ashling says, that feels tiring, looking after it. Who have you been looking after who is tiring? You out completely. I fear getting money because it will make me powerful and strong. And that is scary because. And Zeddy says, I never was there. And that is scary because. And Chantal says, scary because not sure I can handle it, which means don't trust yourself. And I don't trust myself because. Pal says, I have to leave many relationships away from my life. Says who? Natalia says, I'm too powerful, and that is scary because. Fear of goodness, positivity, freedom, since I never had it. So it's not familiar. Remember, my lovelies? I said, that was one of the first words I said. Familiar. That clutter has to do with something familiar. Familiar and stuff. Familiar stuff. But it's stuff. How do your pathways, passages get blocked? Because they get stuffed. How do your sinuses get blocked? Because they get stuffed. How does your digestion get blocked? Because it gets stuffed. I fear getting money because I will have to take care of it or overspend it. How do you know this? And Ashling says, feels like I was looking after my parents' emotion as a child. So anything that has to do with responsibility is of no joy to you anymore. And is money a responsibility? It is. Because money is an adult activity. It is not for a child. Deborah says, I feel like if I have it and I'm independent, I will lose the victimhood that keeps me connected to certain situations and people. Are you sure? Dr. Radha says, scary because it will make me lonely. Powerful people are lonely. Says who? I don't think Narendra Modi is lonely. That's our Prime Minister, people. Pal says, because I love to be under someone else and dependent on others. Super. Yuri says, I fear money because I know I will help all my family and they would not learn their lesson on spending and asking for money, and I can't say no to my family. So you can't trust yourself to say no. Zeddy says, maybe I got used to live in misery, have to work very hard as before. Says who? If I had money, I would no longer have excuses to avoid living life, fear having to manage it, losing it, jealousy of others. I will lose people who live in lack, says Chantal. And why do you love them so much? Natalia says, I could use my power in a wrong way. Again, don't trust yourself. Diana says, people will get jealous and attack me. And then you don't trust that life will take care of you. Sona says, subconsciously, I want a husband who will take care of the family. So this can be a big block, that if you have the money, then husband won't come to take care of you and the family. So you're waiting for the man to come and do it for you. And you know that waiting is weight in the body. And waiting is also a very big money block. It would be one more thing to be responsible for. And have you also, Jan, taken care of your parents or your siblings at a very young age? And Zeddy says, it came to me now that goodness is not for me. How do you know this? Who told you? Is it true? And Chantal says, it will mean no one will come to save me. And I'm completing the sentence for you, Chantal, because you would have saved yourself. And Shashikala says, I fear getting money because I will have to leave my residential house and I will lose the supportive roof on the head. But if you have the money, you will get a bigger roof, no? So who told you this, that you'll have to leave your residential house? So Zeddy, you have had people who have come and told you this. Detach from them, set them free, set yourself free. And Jan says, my first husband left me, had 2 babies with no money. I went into overwhelm. That is very overwhelming. That is so overwhelming. That's crazy overwhelming. And so now don't want to be an adult anymore. Now you would rather that somebody showed up and took care of you. But to be an adult means you are accountable for yourself. You are not waiting for your mother, father, brother, sister to do it for you. You are not waiting for your partner to do it for you. Because the only person allowed dependence is a child, the disabled, or the extremely elderly. Are you any of them? Well, the part of us that would not like to do this for ourselves and would rather that somebody else does it is the child. So this child has to grow up. Where you went into overwhelm, Jan, that you did this, can you look back and tell yourself, wow, you're amazing. You could do it. Because now you don't have 2 babies to take care of. So in fact, it should be easier, right? And Shashikala says, because I fear getting income tax notices. but it is a valid reason. Fear, you can leave now. 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 Detach from the fear of income tax notices. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from this fear. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from this fear. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from the pain. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from the sciatica pain. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from the angst. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from the overwhelm. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from the distrust. Set it free, set yourself free. You are not that person anymore. So why are you continuing to live like that? You are not the child who was told you are not good enough. You are not the person who may have made foolish mistakes with money. You are not that person anymore. You are the person who chose to come on this call. That is who you are. And that you can bring about this change. The fear of change, you can leave now. The fear of change, you can leave now. The fear of change, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now. Detach from this fear of change. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from this fear of change. Set it free, set yourself free. Detach from this fear of change. Set it free, set yourself free. Come into the present moment. Come into the present moment. Come into the present moment. I want to be ordinary because powerful means extraordinary, means extra work daily on a consistent basis. Says who? All it means, my love, is that you start cleaning the clutter. That's all it means. If you are sharing a table with others, if you're sharing a workstation with others, petition to have your own space. Form your boundaries. If you're going to sit here, leave it like this. Or don't sit here. Find your voice. Say no. There will be no more clutter. There will be no more clutter. There will be no more blocked pathways. There will be no more blocked passages. There will be no more blockages. There will be only flowing, 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 flowing. Direct connection between me and money happening, 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 happening. Free flowing connection to and fro between money and you. Happening, 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 happening. Take a look at the clutter around you. Do you still feel like keeping it? Superb. ZD says no. Where do you begin? You begin always with the smallest and the simplest. Even if it means putting 2 books back in their place, you always begin with the simplest. What's the simplest decluttering I can do today? Please, everybody, just say this question once. See the answer that comes. And Poonam says, keep books in cupboard. Fantastic. That's where you will begin. Take the boxes out to the garage. Superb. That's where you will begin. What's the simplest decluttering I can do today? Everybody else, what's the answer? And Payal says, keep many things to their place. Is many the simplest you can do? What's the simplest decluttering you can do today? Put my list pads away. Simple. Pile of books in front of me to sort through. Just a small one. Start there. Clean my table. Put books and papers in place. I already started. Take folded clothes off my bed. Bedroom declutter. One shelf at a time. Wash the closet shelf. Put my folded clothes on them. Shashikala says no. To the one before. Declutter my medicine box. Superb. And every day, this is the only question you'll ask. What is the simplest decluttering I can do today? Do not take on Mount Everest. Do not take on mountain climbing. Do not take on the marathon. Do not take on the Olympics. What is the simplest decluttering I can do today? And that's where you start. Clear old mails and messages. And Vrinda, speaking from experience, that takes us much longer than we think. But start. What's the second rule in decluttering? Can anybody tell me? Sonal says, take deep breath, drink water, smile with joy. Wonderful. What is the second thing in decluttering? You just said clear my kitchen table. That's where the paper clutter is. Superb, ZD. Continue step by step. The second thing is to complete. And what is the third thing? And the last thing? If you started with one bookshelf, there would be other bookshelves. You started with one table, there will be something else. Complete it. Now, some of us will start somewhere and then start somewhere else. And then start somewhere else. And then start somewhere else. Because the more clutter you have, the more it is connected to other things, right? You'll start doing your books and you'll find something in there that needs to go into the cutlery drawer. Then you look at the cutlery drawer and that needs decluttering. Even then, complete it. Put what needs to go elsewhere. Don't start opening a third road. You finish with one road first. You complete one pathway first. And Sanskriti says rest. Definitely rest. Rest, drink water. I'm taking for granted that we will all do. And the third thing is rinse and repeat. You have trouble doing it? Go to the exercise part of this call. Who is in the clutter? Who are you holding on to? What is this familiar stuff that is actually blocking your money now? Detach from them, set them free, set yourself free. Set them free, set yourself free. Set them free, set yourself free. Have a glass of water, tie your hair in a bun, wear your head cap around it, pick up your broom and get clearing. And Chantal says, so me, I've always started over and over and never completed because fear of money would come in. Because you know this, my lovelies. If you're going to start clearing, you are going to get money. Pat says, that's me, pulled all the clutter into the middle of my rooms, except my bedroom, slowly working on one thing at a time. Superb. Superb. Because what clutter belongs elsewhere, you go and put it close there, close by to that. If there are clothes in the middle of your book, go and keep your clothes close to your cupboard, but don't go to your cupboard. Finish your books. If you have a carton and you've taken on a carton, finish the carton. Only then will you open the other carton. If you have cartons of books and books, and then you know you need to organize the books, you keep your books in a place where when you open the other cartons, you will put your books there. One of the things that I have found that helps me a lot, and this is from my mother, way before, who's the woman? Marie Kondo. But having boxes, good boxes, I'm not talking about cartons, having boxes when you're dealing with tinier stuff, or having a big black garbage bag helps a lot. Have you ever seen these frat parties? Or, in your 20s and 30s when you've had a party at your place, you know how cluttered the place would get? Messy, untidy, yuck. You take that big bag and you just start shoving the things into it. So depending on what you're taking out, go prepared. If you know it's going to be dusty for a long time, go with your dusting cloth. If you know stuff is going to come out that I'm going to have to give away, please keep your giveaway carton or your garbage bag ready. Go prepared. Preparation is success. Failure to prepare is failure. So plan your decluttering. If you've got papers, maybe you will need a clipboard or maybe you will need clips. Take them with you. And I remember the quote that was coming to my mind. Failure to prepare is preparation for failure. And Teresa says, take one thing with you out of a room, place it in its proper place. That's the simplest thing you mentioned, Teresa. Great, please do it. And thank you so much for the I can do it, ZD, because I can is a decree, but you have to use it as a decree. So I can enjoy clearing my money pathways. Because that's what you're doing, my lovelies. You're clearing your money pathways. I can enjoy clearing my money pathways. And the moment you do this, okay, I'm going to do this 9 times. Everybody, tell me how it energizes you and brings about a organic motivation and inspiration to get cracking on clearing your stuff. I can enjoy clearing my money pathways. 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 I can and I do enjoy clearing my money pathways. I can and I will enjoy clearing my money pathways. I am willing, 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 I am ready. And ZD says, I started clearing my pathways, literally had to run to the bathroom. Superb. Because remember, my lovelies, our body is pathways. Anytime it gets blocked, bloating, of course, distress, stress, pressure, pain. But when you're clearing externally, something clears internally as well. All of us have felt lighter, relieved, and better when we've cleaned and cleared something. Your pain will be lesser, as a couple of people mentioned as well. Those of y'all who mentioned sciatica pain, how are y'all doing right now? Vrinda says, I absolutely enjoy clearing my money path. So uplifted, says Pat. Fantastic. Shashikala, Payal, you cannot say pain is there. What is the correct way to say this? Pain is there is a desire to keep it. If you have a desire to keep it, please keep it. Then we won't do anything about it. What is the correct way to say it? Shashikala, and I think Parul, had you mentioned it as well? How is the pain? Nilofer, how is your mother doing? Do let us know. And Dr. Radha says, first time clearing is causing joy. Thank you, Payal. It's there, but a little better. Please repeat 5 times. You can say it's there, but a little lesser. It's there, but a little better. And add the single word of decluttering that makes it all easier to do. And that word is thank you. If you begin your work and you just keep chanting, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, your palms, your hands, your body, your eyes will miraculously go to places where you can organize this better than if you're just using your head. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Shashikala says lesser pain now. Superb. So please say lesser pain now. Thank you. It's lesser. Thank you. It's lesser. Thank you. It's better. Thank you. It's better. Thank you. It's gone. Thank you. It's gone. Thank you. It's gone. Thank you. It's gone. Thank you. What I just said, Shashikala, is what to say. So it's lesser, thank you. And Shashikala says, I'm fine now. Fantastic. Impossible, my lovelies, to stay stuck when you're using word medicine. You will move on. You will make money. Your passages, your pathways are opened, 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 opened. Money comes in. Money comes in today. Blessings comes in. Blessings comes in today. Good fortune comes in. Good fortune comes in today. Joy comes in. Joy comes in today. Love comes in. Love comes in today. Great health comes in. Great health comes in today. Vibrant health comes in. Vibrant health comes in today. Awesome health and wealth comes in. Awesome health and wealth comes in today, comes in every day. Thank you, 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 thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. So glad, Nilofa. I am so glad she is better. Everybody else, how is she doing? Not how is she doing, I'm so sorry. How are you doing? And Zeddy says no pain. Fantastic. Something cleared. Something's opened. Some clutter has already gone. Gone, 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 all gone. Nilofa, we are not doing alchemy today, but these decrees as well. It's better, thank you. It's lesser, thank you. It's gone, thank you. It's lesser, thank you. And of course, anytime there is pain, it is a body's cry for water. Enjoy making money, my lovelies. And I will see you tomorrow where our next body of work begins. And the next body of work has 22 decrees to clear money blockages and pathways and attract money. And we're going to be doing this with the moon cycle. So our work is moony work because we are going to be doing this on the perfect dates of when it is best to clear and when it is best to attract. And this is in December and January, which means we will work and prepare for 2024, and then we will also do the work in 2024. It is a telegram and email work only. There are no calls, although we keep doing calls like these, so you will get notification of that as well. And while the package is $57 and rupees 3,333, it is available for rupees 1,111 rupees and $19 only. Details are going to be in your replay email. In fact, the offer was closed 2 days back, but it has been opened up till tomorrow, 12 noon Indian time. Come along if you can. It is, like I said, there's no particular call attached to it. It is a telegram and email work, but you will get these set of decrees to speak and write. We'll have fun. Let's all make money, my lovelies. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. Big love, big hug. Namaste from India.